When Andal herself is not willing to believe, where am I will certainly not believe. Is it so? Not at all. Krishna might have been called as a liar as a pastime. That is for our experience of divinity. Whatever he talks would finally be truth. Not necessarily that Krishna has to talk the truth. Whatever he talks has to be termed as truth. There is a marked differentiation, marked difference between Rama and Krishna. Rama walked the righteous way. He followed the dharmic path. He wanted to follow Dharma Marga. He did so. But Krishna never wanted to. He followed a path and declared that to be Dharma Marga. He never followed the Dharma Marga, and our Purvacharyas think that Krishna was better than Rama because there is no need for Bhagavan to demonstrate or prove to anyone. He need not follow any condition. If Rama had given a wrong opinion to people that God should all fall in line, then he has wrongly demonstrated. We must never expect him to follow. We would say in this loka, in this world thus, even a rule maker should abide by rules. Don't we say so? Even if you are a traffic constable or a traffic policeman, he has to abide by the rules. We accept it here. But that law is not applicable with Bhagavan. He need not abide by any rule. Kindly note this change. If somebody talks to you or you are of the belief that Bhagavan also should follow rules, kindly change it. The Shastras never talk so. He will not fall into any discipline. That's why he is called as Brahman. Why is he Brahman and why is the Almighty? Because he will not fall into anything. We should follow as we are all belonging of Krishna. Now let me tell you, we have no requisites to this, but still there is a requisite. Krishna never expects anything from a Sharanagata, but still he expects something. One example, a small story to make you understand this. I was quite hungry, but I didn't have enough food. I was a destitute. I went to Annadata. He was a very generous person. I requested him, I am too hungry for many days. Can you feed me with some food? He said, just come back in 2 hours. I'll give you food. I asked him, I have no penny to be paid to you. Don't expect anything from me. No, you need not pay anything. I may not be asked to pay, but still will you tell me to do some work here? You may not ask me money, but if you tell me to do some work, I cannot. He said, I will not ask you to do any work. You may not ask me today, but later after 10 days will you summon me? Will you ask me to do something? Don't worry, I will not expect anything from you. Come after 2 hours. I went back. But someone else provided me food. I had food. I came back after 2 hours. Should I not inform this person? He was so kind enough to grant me food. I came back after 2 hours. I was standing still. He said, sit down. You were so happy. You were so hungry. You wanted to have food. Sit down. I said, no, I am not going to have food now. The other person was worried. He thought, have I committed any mistake with you? I told you I expect nothing. Then I replied to the Annadata, no sir, you said 2 hours ago that you will not expect anything. But now you are expecting something. That's why I do not want to take food here. The person was still confused. I never expected anything from you. I didn't ask anything from you. He said, you are expecting hunger for me to enjoy food now or not? I am not hungry now. I am not able to have food now. So this Annadata at least was expect a person who is hungry to come to him. Did he not expect hunger now? Did he not also commit he would not expect anything 2 hours ago? He says that I will not expect anything from you. Now he says that if you are hungry, you can very well come. Now is expectation of hunger to be counted as an expectation or not to be counted as an expectation? He is only expecting hunger, nothing other than that. He never expected me to do any job or to pay anything or to do something 10 days later. He did not expect all those things. But there is no other go if I am not hungry. Will he not expect me to be hungry? He expects that. So what is hunger to having food is Sharanagati to having moksha. I'll tell you this. Let's draw the similarities between the two. I'll give you another example later on. Bhagavan never expects anything from me. Not Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. But he expects me to be hungry to reach moksha. Is that expectation to be counted as an expectation or is it just my nature? To be a person who wants food, should he not be hungry? That is a natural phenomenon of a person who is hungry. Now, I am a person who is a mumukshu. Should I not have the ruchi to reach moksha? That ruchi, that taste is this hunger now. Bhojanattu kukshuttu pole. For having food, you need hunger. But hunger is not the cause to have food. Please note the difference in the terms. Unless you have hunger, you can't have food. You can't have food. But just because you are hungry, will you be fed with food? Well, it's a very difficult question, tricky question. Unless you are hungry, you can't have food. If you are hungry, will you be provided food? If I am hungry and I will get food, then all the millions of population in this world must get fed. That's not happening. We see so many people in Somalia and African countries, they die out of malnutrition. Just because they were hungry, they were not fed. I am hungry. I may not be fed just because I am hungry. But unless I am hungry, will I be fed? I will not be. I have to be hungry to be fed. But it is not a prerequisite that if I am hungry, I will be fed. Similarly, I have to perform Sharanagati to be granted moksha. But it is the prerogative of Krishna to grant or not to grant. So, just because you have performed Sharanagati, Krishna cannot be compelled to grant moksha. You have to perform and wait. He will grant whenever he wants to. Because this is only hunger. I may be hungry, but I should find an Annadata who has mercy. Only then I will get it. So what is the cause for this grant? The mercy of the Annadata. What triggered the grant? My hunger. So my hunger is not the cause for this grant, but my hunger is the triggering aspect for this grant. Are you clear now? Or I would repeat it. My hunger is not the cause. Why I am repeating this is, kindly note, it is Bhagavan's mercy that is the only upaya to reach moksha. Nothing from my side can be an upaya to reach moksha. Means rest with him. That's the underlying important concept in Sharanagati. Nothing rests with me, it all rests with him. But should I not have anything? Yes, you should. You are also required to have what? Hunger. The taste to feel moksha. The taste to experience moksha. If you are full of that taste and want, he grants you moksha. But a taste cannot be the cause of the grant. Only the generosity of the giver can be the cause of the grant. My giver is generous. He was very kind enough to grant me. So his kindness, his compassion, his mercy, these are all the causes. These cause the grant. But what should have caused? If I perform Bhakti Yoga, then the cause rests with me. Because it is through my efforts I reach Vaikuntha. Then the cause is with me. But in Sharanagati, the cause rests with him. His mercy is the cause. Then can you argue like this? Since his mercy is the cause for this grant, why not I do not perform Sharanagati? Anyhow, he is the Annadata, he is going to grant. Let him grant on his own. Why do you request me to perform Sharanagati? This performance is not a performance of a upaya. This performance is communication of hunger. You note that point? This performance is just communicating that I am hungry to my Lord. Having heard that my disciple is hungry, Bhagavan out of his compassion grants moksha. So, not that I was hungry and I was given, because there are so many people who are hungry, they are not given. I communicated my hunger, I communicated to the right person, he was full of compassion, so his compassion made him grant moksham to me. After performing Sharanagati, I cannot also compel Krishna, now this moment you grant me. You can, but he may or he may not. The prerogative, the call rests with him. ஆழ்வாருடைய ஒரே ஒரு பாசுரம் சொல்றேன். அவர் சாதிக்கிறார், மாறி மாறாத தன்னம்மலை வேங்கட தன்னலை வனத்தடர ஏரியாம் வண்ணம் இயற்றும் இதுவல்லால் மாறி யார் பெய்கிப்பார் மற்று வனத்தடர ஏரியாம் வண்ணம் இயற்றும் இதுவல்லால். I had to store rainwater. I was quite surprised when I came to this country, because in many other countries I was told there's abundant water sources available. They say there is some water problem here around. At times it may erupt. What do? It should rain in your catchment areas. you must have enough reservoirs available to store. I built a big reservoir. I built a dam. Immediately I looked upon the rain gods. Having built the dam, now I demand you to rain. Can I do that? I have built a dam. Can I demand with the God that he should rain? He will not. He may not. He may or he may not. So building a dam is not the cause for rain. For that, I thought, anyhow having built a dam, it is not going to rain. Why build a dam at all? Why build a reservoir at all? Let me not build. Anyhow, as I built, he didn't rain. So let me not build. If you do not build, when it rains, you cannot store. The problem comes there. So you will have to build and wait. Just because you built it, it's not going to rain. But if you do not build it, then you waste rainwater. Similarly, just because you surrender, he may not grant. But if you do not surrender, when he grants, you cannot save. The problem is that. So I will have to surrender and keep waiting. He will grant. Unless you have surrendered, you are not the recipient of the grant anymore. He will grant you, but you must be prepared to receive. If the reservoir is not ready, then rainwater is wasted. If I have not surrendered, then the rainwater, which is Bhagavan's compassion, Bhagavan's mercy, that gets wasted. Anala Sharanagati Panna Birpadha Moksha Kadaikum. Sharanagati Pannatta Moksha Kadaikum. Ana Sharanagati Pannattukaha Moksha Kadaichurat. Sharanagati Pannatta Moksha Kadaikum. Sharanagati Pannattukaha Kadaichuruma Bhagavanuடைய கிருபையால கிடைக்கும். அவருடைய கிருபை தான் மோட்சத்துக்கு காரணம். அப்படின்னா நான் சரணாதி பண்ணாத இருக்கட்டுமா? பண்ணாட்டா கிருபை கொற்றச்சே வீணாயிடுமே. அதை வாங்கிக்கணும் இல்லையோ? So this Sharanagati is not to trigger Bhagavan to grant me moksham. This Sharanagati is my nature, is my essential nature. To perform and keep waiting is my nature. After I have performed it, he out of compassion and mercy grants me. So this is a very subtle principle in Sharanagati, which you have to think over many times. It's not that easy. I have told you, on the face of it, it may look very easy. இந்த வார்த்தை ஜாலம்லாம் ரொம்ப நன்னா இருக்கும், கேட்கறச்சே நன்னா இருக்குமே தவிர போய் உட்காந்து என்ன சொன்னார் இப்போ அவர்? சரணாதி பண்ணாதான் மோட்சம்னார், ஆனால் பண்ணதுக்காக மோட்சம் இல்லைன்னார். நான் ஏதானும் பண்ணாலும் மோட்சம் இல்லைன்னார், பண்ணாட்டாலும் மோட்சம் இல்லைன்னார். கடைசியில் இல்லைன்னு சொல்றத இத்தனை வார்த்தையில சொன்னாரோ அப்படின்னு நமக்கு சந்தேகம் வந்துடும். ஐ எம் நாட் ட்ரைங் டு கன்ஃபியூஸ் ஹியர். இட் இஸ் ட்ரூத். After performing Sharanagati only, I would be granted moksham. But just because I have performed, I cannot compel Krishna to grant moksham, but he does. After all, he has been waiting for to grant this. It is not that we have to compel him or he is not interested in granting. There are some countries which want many people to visit them. So their visa rules will be very simple. But there are other countries, they do not want people. They are already overloaded. Then they make their conditions very stringent. We see both countries. You want to visit America, it's too difficult. The only route available is through Canada. Because Canada, it's so easy to get in. But to United States of America, it is difficult to get in. Our Bhagavan is always like Canadian government. He wants people to come to him. Not that he keeps all his gates closed and his stringent visa conditions makes it impossible for me to enter the gate. Not at all. He in fact dilutes all the conditions. If he was stringent, then none of us would be eligible to reach Vaikuntha. He is not stringent at all. What does he expect from us? Not karma jnana bhakti yoga, but just hunger. Hunger is expression of our interest to enjoy him. As a rightful servant of Bhagavan, should I not do at least that? அவர் என்ன என்கிட்ட எதிர்பார்க்கிறார்? ருச்சி. Am I willing? That willingness, that love is the only thing which he expects. And if you generate that, if you develop that, he is so happy granting moksham. What will he expect? So now let us recapitulate all that we have discussed. As a Sharanagata, there are no conditions. You can be anyone. Sharanagati can be any time. Sharanagati can be at any place. There are no other conditions required. The only condition is you can't perform Sharanagati to anybody. You can perform that only to Krishna. What is that? What makes you a rightful candidate? Your right, your eligibility is be concerned. Concern is the only eligibility. After Sharanagati, what is the effect of it? Removal of your concern. Now, will Krishna not expect anything other than this? Yes, he expects two more things. I know you will all be wondering. By the end of this session, he is going to come out with all the conditions. but slowly and steadily I am releasing every condition one by one. Now there are two more conditions here. The conditions are, Bhagavan expects nothing else, but he expects a Purusha and Purushakara. He expects these two. He expects a Purusha. For example, he may not expect anything from a surrenderer. Will he not expect a surrenderer or not? He does not expect anything from a surrenderer, but at least he wants a surrenderer. If there is no Sharanagata, whom will he grant moksham to? So he expects, oh my surrenderer, please come to me. You have to perform Sharanagati. As a Sharanagata, I will grant you. We said, you said you will not expect anything. Then why do you expect a Sharanagata to come to you? If I don't turn up to him, whom will he grant it to? So he at least needs a Purusha. He needs a Sharanagata. Without a Sharanagata, he can't give moksham to anyone. I go and request to a principal, I need an admission to my son. Principal said, okay, you bring your son tomorrow, I'll try and do my best, I'll certainly give you an admission. The next day I went there, I sat before him, he said, where is your son? You said you don't need anything tomorrow. I didn't bring my son too. If he does not come, whom will he give the admission to? So at least you need a surrenderer, a Sharanagata to receive the moksham. Secondly, not only a Purusha, not only a Sharanagata, Bhagavan expects a Purushakara. And that Purushakara is none other than Sri Mahalakshmi. He expects a Purushakara. Now the role of Mahalakshmi is very, very significant during surrender. To perform Sharanagati, the role of Mahalakshmi is very significant. What will she do? Sri Vedanta Deshika, in one of his treatises on Rahasyatraya, he says that I am here, the recipient. Bhagavan is here, the grantor. He is the one who is going to grant. I am the one who would receive. Where is the need of a third person in between? I don't need her at all. What is her role? Why is she needed at all? She is needed. And the reply is what we are going to discuss in detail today. So Bhagavan expects Pirati, Mahalakshmi as a Purushakara, and of course he expects me as a Sharanagata. I am required to receive. Pirati Mahalakshmi is required to trigger, to recommend. The status of Mahalakshmi is that of one who recommends. She recommends my case to Bhagavan. Now, having known this, let us go through the 3-4 slides which I have given for easy understanding here. What does the name Mahalakshmi mean? What will it mean? Lakshmi. Lakshmi. Lakshyate anaya iti Lakshmi. The word Lakshmi means Lakshyate anaya. All the children are glanced by her. Lakshyam is subjective. The vision of Mahalakshmi, the objective for the vision of Mahalakshmi, the objective for the look of Mahalakshmi is to glance at all of us. நம்ம எல்லாரையும் கட்டாட்சிக்கிறதுக்கு தான் லக்ஷ்மி உள்ளாள். So Lakshyate, we are all the object of her kataksha. Anaya, by her. We are all looked by her. Thus she is known as Lakshmi. Lakshyate anaya iti Lakshmi. She is also known as Kamala. Now you can easily get to know the role played by Mahalakshmi here. Kamala kuchachuchuka kumkumate. You would have heard about that. And we also have this name Kamala. It's quite a popular name. What does this Kamala mean? You all know it is a lotus, Kamala. So one who looks so beautiful like lotus is called as Kamala. The matter ends there. But we are not going to talk about that. Ka, mau, latiti, Kamala. This is very important. Ka, ma. It talks about two entities, two real entities. Ka, mau, latiti, Kamala. Ka, Brahmam, Bhagavan. Ma, Jivatma, all the souls. Ka, mau. Between Bhagavan and the Jivatma, lati, this verb, it's a verb. The verb lati means la dana adane. Dana to give, to grant. Adane to receive. It's a barter trade now. I give something, in respect of it I receive something. I give something, in return I receive something. So Mahalakshmi gives something, receives something. What does she give and what does she receive? Ka ma latiti Kamala. Ka Brahmam ma Jivatma. She offers Jivatma to Brahmam. and receives the grace of Paramatma to the Jivatma. Latiti Kamala. So she gives and takes. This Jivatma is a belonging, is a property of Paramatma. This property has gone astray. So Mahalakshmi ensures that the property is retained with her rightful husband. So she ensures that this property is given to Paramatma. La, Dana, Adana. In return, she receives the grace of Paramatma to this Jivatma. Kamaulatiti Kamala. This is the job of a great mediator. So she is a mediator. She is the one who recommends, and she is known as Purushakaraha. So Kamaulatiti Kamala. The status of Mahalakshmi is Purushakaraha. It's a Pullinga Shabda. It's a masculine gender word. In Sanskrit, you see masculine gender, feminine gender. The words have genders in Sanskrit. The object has genders. If you have to use a word in Tamil or English, it depends on the objects which that word stands for. For example, if I call a girl, then the word calling a girl would be a feminine gender word. That's not in Sanskrit. The word has gender. The same word, you can have a feminine gender word, a masculine gender word, both representing a male or both representing a female. I'll give an example. Patni, Bharya is a feminine gender word. A wife. A wife is feminine gender. So the word should also be feminine gender. Yes, Patni, Bharya is a feminine gender. But Daraha is a masculine gender word which means wife. Kalatram, it is a Napumsakalinga word which means wife. So a Napumsakalinga word can stand for a male, can stand for wife. A feminine gender word can stand for a wife. A masculine gender word can stand for a wife. So in Sanskrit, you have to be very, very cautious. Any word of any gender can denote anyone. To digress, I'll give an example, it will be quite interesting. Mahasura Grihasthuna Pitamahyabhut. Vedanta Deshika, in one of his works, he explains, from the great stamba, from the great pillar, it broke. There was a thundering noise and Narasimha Peruman came out of it. Mahasura Grihasthuna Pitamahyabhut. She says that the pillar of the Asura Griha, the pillar of the bungalow, the big Maligai of Asura Hiranyakashipu, that became the Pitamahi. In Sanskrit, Pitamahi means grandmother. Vedanta Deshika says that this pillar turned to be a grandmother. How can a pillar become a grandmother? I know about my grandmother. How can a pillar become a grandmother? World's father is Brahma, the Pitamaha. Brahma, the four-headed god, is known as Pitamaha. Pitamaha's father is Brahma, was created in the lotus navel of Bhagavan. So is he not the son of Bhagavan? Brahma's father is Narayana. Now Narayana's mother is this pillar, because this pillar gives birth to Narayana now. So Narayana's mother is this pillar. World's grandfather is Pitamaha Brahma. Pitamaha's grandmother is this pillar now. So this pillar becomes the grandmother of the grandfather. Mahasura Grihasthuna Pitamahyabhut. When he said so, with a pun, he uses the word sthuna. You could have used the word stambam. Stambam is a Napumsakalinga word. Sthuna is a feminine gender word. He wantedly uses this feminine gender word. The Vyakhyata, the commentator, explains why so. It is so because this is a Prasava Prakarana. Now we are talking about pregnancy and childbirth now. Why call this pillar with an Apumsakalinga word? Pregnancy and childbirth are related with females only. So at least let me use a feminine gender word to denote that. I could have used stambham, which is an Apumsakalingam. Instead he uses thuna, which is a feminine gender. He uses a feminine gender word because it is now giving birth to a child, which is Narasimhavatara. A male cannot give birth to a child. A Napumsaka cannot give birth to a child. Only a female can. So he wantedly uses it. He was known as Kavitarkika Simham because his prowess in using the right words to denote the right meaning. Mahasura Grihasthuna Pitamahyabhut. So you must note here, any word, any gender. The gender is to word. Gender is not to the object at all. We are going to talk about Mahalakshmi, who is the greatest of the females. She is known as Narinam Uttama Vadhuhu. Out of all the Nari Manis, out of all the females, she is the head of them. But that Nari Mani is called by a Pullinga Shabda. Purushakaraha is a masculine gender word. So a masculine gender word is explaining the status of Mahalakshmi. Is it right? We must have used a feminine gender word. It is not so, because this language is so rich that it can use any gender to denote anyone. The gender is to the word only. Purushakaraha. What is the meaning? Purusham karoti iti purushakaraha. You will have to go step by step here, understand and digest, so that at the end of the day you are quite clear about what we discussed yesterday, and as a result what we discussed today. It is only an extension today. Purusham karoti iti purushakaraha. Purusham karoti. One who makes a man behave like a man. She is a purushakara. Purusham karoti. She makes a man. Not that she creates a man, but a man should behave like a man. He failed to behave like a man. Pirati Mahalakshmi ensures that he behaves like a man. Purusham karoti. Which man are we talking about now? Who is the man she is creating, or who is the man she is correcting? Both. Either Paramatma or all the Jivatmas. We are all Purushas. Bhagavan is also the Purushottama. Bhagavan is the Purushottama. We the Jivatmas are Purusha. When I mention Purusha, I am not talking about male folks now. I am talking about Jivatmas. The word Purusha will only stand for a Jivatma and not to a male or female by body. In this birth, through our structure, we may be called as male or females. But the word Purusha stands for an Atma. You know why? Puri Shete iti Purushaha. Puri, in a place, in a pattana. Shete, one who reclines, is a Purusha. Puri Shete iti Purushaha. Here our Hridaya Kamalam is the pattana. It is a place. It's a place to stay. Atma reclines there. He sleeps there. Puri, in the Hridaya Puri. Shete, as he reclines there, he is known as Purusha. So the Atma is called here as Purusha, not a male or a female. Purusha, Purusham karoti. She Mahalakshmi ensures that all Atmans behave as Atmans. She also ensures that Paramatma behaves as Paramatma. He must be a Purushottama. He is a Purushottama. The entire 15th chapter talks that Krishna is Purushottama. Atosmi loke vede cha prathitaha Purushottamaha. Dvavimau purushau loke ksharaha akshara yevacha. Ksharas sarvani bhutani kutastha akshara uchyate. Atosmi loke vede cha prathitaha Purushottamaha. I am the Purushottama, the most supreme. Krishna boasts of himself, but at times he forgets that. He must behave as a Purushottama always. Krishna forgets to behave as a Purushottama. Pirati ensures that he behaves as a Purushottama. What is her role in making him? What is her role in making him behave like a man? What should a man do? As a Purusha. Now let's get into the etymological meaning of the word Purusha. You might be seeing for the past 3 days now, I have given all the Vyakarana meaning of every word. Unless you note that, you cannot be confident on the theory that you are learning. You must be clear. Explanation and Upanyasam, lectures, discourses, oratorical excellence means nothing here. No one will give any respect to those things in this Sampradaya. Here, definitions, your grammar, whatever you talk of, the concept, the strength of it, the Vada, Prativada are very, very important. Unless you are clear there, then you will lose on the way. என்னென்னமோ பேசிகிட்டே இருக்கலாம். என்ன சொல்லியிருந்தார், 2 மணி நேரம் சொல்லியிருந்தார், அவருக்கு தெரிஞ்செல்லாம் சொல்லியிருந்தார் அப்படின்னு. அப்புறம் அப்படி சொல்லிட்டா போருமா? இப்போ என்ன இருக்கோ வியாக்கரணப்படி, மீமாம்சப்படி, தர்க்க சாஸ்திரப்படி தப்புலாத வச்சுக்கணும். அதில் போய் பயந்துடக்கூடாது. போய் ரொம்ப கஷ்டமான விஷயமா இருக்கும் போல் இருக்கே, எதுக்கு இதுன்னுட்டு அப்படி போனா போறதுன்னு பேசிகிட்டே போயிருந்தோம்னா அப்புறம் போட வேண்டியதுதான். எங்க போறது? போக வேண்டிய இடத்துக்கு போக வேண்டாமா? அது போக வேண்டிய இடத்துக்கு போனோம்னா அப்ப தெரிஞ்சுக்க வேண்டியது தெரிஞ்சுட்டு தான் ஆகணும். புருஷா புரு பகு சனோதி புருஷா. One who grants, one who continuously grants, one who is generous is a Purusha. Puru Bahu Sanoti. He graciously gives. He continuously grants. He is generous as rain god. He is generous as a wish-bearing creeper. He is generous as Kamadhenu. He is generous.